You ever had one of those days where you come home, thinking it's just going to be coffee, cat, couch, and maybe a quiet evening, and instead you're standing in front of your own house, staring at a door that doesn't even belong to you anymore? That was me on a Tuesday, 5:45 p.m. I put the key in, turned it like I'd done 1,000 times, and nothing. It just clicked, stiff, cold, wouldn't budge. At first, I thought maybe my smart lock glitched out. Happened sometimes, but then I saw it. My lock, the one I built myself, ripped clean out. In its place, a rusty, cheap-looking deadbolt, the kind you buy at a hardware store clearance bin. And right in the middle of my door, taped like a sick joke, was a piece of paper with the HOA letterhead that said in bold, "Your access has been revoked due to multiple violations." Now, I design security systems for a living. Physical entry, cyber defense, stuff for clients who don't play games. The irony that someone thought they could beat me on my own front porch? That stung. But what really got me was that phrase, revoked access. Like my home was some community pool membership they could just cancel. I hadn't received a single violation, not a warning, not even a courtesy call. And standing there with my coffee thermos still in my bag, neighbors peeking from behind blinds like it was a soap opera, I realized this wasn't a mistake. This was personal, and I already knew who was behind it. Madison Clark, self-proclaimed queen bee of our HOA. Madison hated me since the day I moved in. Said my little battery backup box on the side of the house was unsightly. Said the blinking lights made her feel like she lived next to a casino. Truth was, she couldn't stand that I was independent, that I knew her rules inside out, and I didn't bow to her clipboard. And now she'd crossed the line. She'd walk in my house while I was at work and change my locks. But here's the thing. I don't scream. I don't bang on doors. I don't give people that satisfaction. I deal with systems, and systems can always be broken down. So I walked away, drove to a cafe, opened my laptop, and checked my backups. I always keep cameras hidden, recording off-site, because paranoid is just another word for prepared. Sure enough, I pulled up footage. Madison herself, in broad daylight, pointing like a general while some handyman yanked out my lock. Her voice, crystal clear. Make it look legal enough so he doesn't have a case. I almost laughed out loud. Legal enough? Lady, you just handed me a case on a silver platter. Now, I could have called the cops right then, but Madison's slick. She'd hide behind the HOA bylaws, drag it through committees, bury it under fake votes. I didn't need revenge. I needed precision. So I made some calls. A lawyer friend, a buddy in cybersecurity, and another guy who's done forensic work on HOA fraud before. By the time I crashed at my buddy's place that night, I wasn't panicked. I was drafting, planning, setting traps. Madison thought she locked me out. She had no clue she just walked into my network. The next morning, I placed a small device behind my planter. Looked like a weed sensor, but it was actually a directional antenna. I wanted to see if they'd try messing with my new dummy system again. And while that little trap warmed up, I paid Madison a visit. She was at the clubhouse, flanked by 2 board members, acting like she owned the place. I dropped my deed, the HOA's own bylaws, and my architectural approval docs on the table. She smiled that smug, tight smile and said, "Oh, Jordan, we were just about to contact you." I leaned in and said, calm as a whisper, "You broke in my home. That's criminal trespass." Her eyes twitched. She said, "We acted under emergency standards, multiple complaints," and that's when I tapped my tablet and hit play. The video rolled, Madison in broad daylight, bossing the handyman around. One of her own board members muttered. When was this recorded? Madison lunged to shut the screen off, stammering about context. I just smirked. "Relax," I said. "That was just the trailer. Full feature drops soon." From that moment, I wasn't locked out anymore. I was in control. I restored my lock under police supervision later that day, but my focus was bigger. I started combing through the so-called violations she claimed. Fire code restrictions only applied to commercial buildings. Unauthorized surveillance. My cameras never pointed at a neighbor's window, and the rules didn't ban personal systems anyway. Every claim she made was hot garbage. But the real gem came when I dug into the HOA's digital voting logs. Every vote had the exact same timestamp, down to the second. Impossible, unless somebody forged them. 2 emails approving the lockout, weren't even from the official HOA domain. They ended in .info, and both were registered just 3 weeks ago. I traced them, and guess what? They came from the same IP range as Madison's home Wi-Fi. She wasn't just bending rules. She was committing digital forgery on a governance system. That's when I called Riley, an old college buddy, now a forensic consultant. When I told him, he laughed so hard he almost choked. Dude, they didn't just break the law. They tripped every alarm on the way down, he said. He offered to put together a technical report free of charge, just for the entertainment value. I knew he'd deliver fast, so while he worked, I set my honeypot in motion. Picture this, a fake Wi-Fi network named HOA Access Control broadcasting from my house. Weak password, sloppy design, just begging to be hacked. Sure enough, within 2 hours, someone bit. An old Android tablet connected, tried a few dictionary passwords, even uploaded a file called access_override.js. I watched every keystroke, every probe in real time. And where did the signal trace back to? The HOA clubhouse. Later that night, I drove past, long lens on my camera, and caught Madison's son, Dylan, sitting inside with that same tablet, headset on, papers on the table with my name printed bold across the top. They weren't just improvising. They were building a cover story, a fake narrative to justify what they'd done. And they were too sloppy to hide it. Over the next few days, my honeypot lit up like a Christmas tree. Madison herself connected, using her iPad. She clicked through my fake surveillance dashboard, desperate to find dirt, muttering to someone, "This will shut him up, we'll say it was a safety threat." My code recorded her voice, her actions, her every slip. And just when I thought it couldn't get better, I got an anonymous email, screenshots of a board group chat where Madison bragged about removing that tech nuisance and protecting the visual purity of the neighborhood. She might as well have gift-wrapped the evidence. By Friday, Riley handed me a full forensic breakdown, timestamps doctored with basic editing tools, fake domains registered under Madison's billing address. And the cherry on top, she'd accidentally used her personal coupon app email as the recovery for her fake board accounts. It was laughably amateur. So I packaged everything into a neat press-style presentation. Screenshots, side-by-side comparisons, recordings, the whole 9 yards. And I scheduled it to email every resident in the HOA at exactly 7 p.m. Friday, prime time, when people check their inbox after dinner. My subject line was simple. I was locked out, but now you deserve to know who holds the key. Friday evening hit, and boom. Emails exploded. Neighbors who barely waved at me before were suddenly replying in outrage. Some demanded a new election. Others wanted Madison reported to the police. One guy even dropped off a pie with a note, "Sorry for doubting you." Madison tried to spin it, but the county housing rep had already suspended her from HOA duties, thanks to my lawyer filing. By Sunday, the clubhouse was cited for code violations, improper wiring, flammable storage, even fake policy binders stamped with a logo that didn't match the real HOA. The board panicked and held a no-confidence vote. Within 48 hours, Madison was out, stripped of her title, her name erased from the roster. But I wasn't done. I filed a civil suit, unlawful entry, defamation, digital fraud. I didn't want her money. What I wanted was discovery, which meant every deleted email, every device, every chat between her and Dylan became public record. And oh, the things we found. Drafts of fake violation letters, receipts for illegal surveillance gear bought with borrowed credentials, even a voice memo where Madison said, "If we can't make him move, we'll make him miserable." That one sentence became the headline of my case summary. The judge, after listening to just one audio clip of her telling Dylan to call it a safety threat, moved us straight into full discovery and even referred parts of it to the district attorney. Madison showed up to court looking smaller than I'd ever seen her. No smug smile, no clipboard, just a woman watching her empire collapse. The neighborhood transformed almost overnight. Porch swings went back up, garden gnomes popped out of storage, people started smiling again. The board held a special election, and folks begged me to run. I said no, I never wanted power, just peace. Instead, I nominated Mrs. Harris, a retired school principal who didn't take crap from anyone, but knew how to listen. She won unanimously, And the first thing she did was launch a transparent online portal for all HOA business. No more mystery fines. No more midnight emergency resolutions. Just sunlight. And you'd be surprised how much calmer a neighborhood feels under sunlight. As for Madison, curtains drawn, lawn overgrown, mailbox stuffed. The same woman who used to march the block with a measuring tape now barely showed her face. She's under audit, facing charges for forgery and unlawful access, and her son skipped town. Funny how quickly the self-declared queen be lost her sting. Meanwhile, my house, safest one on the block. My upgraded system now greets me with a soft welcome home, Jordan every night. My cat curls up by the keyboard, neighbors wave when I walk by, and for the first time in months, I feel like I can breathe. But here's the part one keep thinking about. Madison didn't just change my locks. She changed how I saw community. Power only works if people stay silent, and the second folks spoke up, her whole machine crumbled. All it took was proof, sunlight, and a little patience. So yeah, I got my house back, but I also got something bigger. The reminder that control only lasts as long as people believe in it. And now I'll throw it back to you. What do you think? Was I right to play it slow and set traps? Or should I have kicked the door down on day one and called the cops? Do HOAs go too far, or do they keep neighborhoods in check? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because I know people have stories. Wild, petty, unbelievable HOA stories. And hey, if you enjoyed this one, share it with someone who loves seeing bullies eat their own lives.